Hello students, welcome to the next lecture on the CSIR NET December 2025. In this lecture, I will explain you how you can solve all those real analysis questions from the part C with the help of the shortcut tips. Myself, Dr. Harish Garg. You can follow my YouTube channel where you can find the playlist of the CSIR UGC NET and you can see the complete solution of the CSIR NET December 2025 such as linear algebra, complex analysis, statistics, quadratic form, differential equations, partial, and many more lecture available in this playlist. As you can see, the 400 plus videos are already uploaded. All are free of cost. Remember students, my channel is always a free of cost to every student. You can learn, you can get your knowledge increase. I hope you can subscribe my YouTube channel. Now in this lecture, I will cover all those questions. The first question is related to the function of the several variable. Second question is related to finding whether it's a bounded limit infimum supremum. Third question is related to the uniform continuity, bounded functions. Fourth question is related to the whether it's a uniform bounded convergence uniformly. Fifth question is related to the convergence uniformly on the intervals. Next question is related to the limits, how you can find the limit of the functions. Another one is a continuously differentiable functions. And the last one is related to the increasing sequence and the infinite decimal places. How you can solve all these questions, all these 8 questions with the help of the 1 minute time periods. It's a very simple way. I will teach you in this lecture. You must watch this lecture till the end. If you still not subscribe my YouTube channel, I requested you can subscribe my YouTube channel. And if you want to join with me, it's a free group. It's always a free group. You can join my 5th WhatsApp group. You can scan and join my WhatsApp group. The only condition is that you have to subscribe my YouTube channel and then scan and join my group. So let's start the first question. How you can solve the limits, differentiability and partial derivative in a very simple manner. First of all, I will tell you what is the shortcut tips I had given you in my previous videos. Whenever the degree of the numerator is greater than the degree of denominator, then this is a tip at the point 0, 0, then limit is always 0. Otherwise limit does not exist. Otherwise means whenever the degree of the numerator is less than or equal to the degree of the denominator, then the limit does not exist. On the other hand, if you want to find the limits at infinity, fine, then this condition is the reverse. Whenever degree of the numerator is less than or equal to the denominator degree, then you can say the limit is 0. Otherwise, limit does not exist. Fine. There are the 2 shortcut tricks as I mentioned you earlier. Now look at this example. What is the degree of the numerator? 2. Degree of the denominator is again 2. And you can see this will fall under the otherwise because your target is to find the limits at 0, 0. So what is the otherwise? That means whenever degree of the numerator is less than equal to the degree of denominator, then limit does not exist. So that means the first option is correct option. Once the limit is not exist, that means the function is not continuous. Once the function is not continuous, that means the function is not differentiable. The fourth option is cancel out. Fine. Now look at the third options and the second option. Your target is to find the value of x, 0. That means y is my 0. If you substitute y 0, answer is a. And if you calculate the limit as x approaches 0, answer is still a. What is the limit of 0, y? 0, y is my b. And if you take the limit as y approaches 0, answer is again b. But a and b are my distinct numbers. So since a is not equal to b, therefore the third option is cancel. Second option, you have to find the partial derivatives. So I can say it is x, 0 minus f of 0, 0 divided by x. So can you find the limit? What is the f of x, 0? A. F of 0, 0 is my 0 divided by x. Clearly say the limit does not exist. Partial derivative of f does not exist. You can also check partial derivative with respect to y. Limit y approaches 0, f of 0 comma y minus 0 divided by y. That will be b over y. Again, you can see the limit does not exist. Right answers are A and B are the correct answer of the problem. If you want to find more detailed lecture on the partial derivatives, limit, continuity and differentiability, I recommended you must watch about my last minute revision of the partial derivatives. More than 50 examples you can see, more than 50 plus examples in this lecture you can see and learn the concept. Fine, you must watch about this lecture and then you can see how the easiest partial derivative calculation. Okay, look at the next one. Next one is related to the bounded infimum and supremum. You can see it's a infimum. Okay, now it's a minus 1 raised to power n. So whenever it's a minus 1 raised to power n, I will consider two cases. N is even, n is odd. When n is even, this quantity will be my twice 2 of n minus 1 over n. When n is odd, this value will be 0. Answer is minus 1 over n. Therefore, if you calculate the limit as n approaches infinity, then you have to find the limit infimum and you have to find the limit supremum. What will the limits? If you take the limit as n approaches infinity, the first term will goes to the infinity, second term will goes to the 0. Therefore, limit infimum is 0, limit supremum is infinity. But in this case, your target is to find the infimum, not limit infimum. So what is the shortcut text? As I mentioned you in my previous lecture of the infimum, you know that infimum is always less than or equal to in limit of the supremum is always less than equal to limit of the supremum is always less than equal to supremum. We have this value 0, we have this value infinity, then definitely the supremum value must be infinity. But he said supremum is my 1. Fine. Now A is bounded below. You can see that I can say this is my A, limit of the A. So clearly say fine, and it is infimum of A because A is my finite. So we will check whether the infimum of A is finite or not. Clearly say when you take n is even, fine, the answer will be, if I take n is 2, 4 minus 1 over 2, 4 minus 1 over 2, that's a 7 over 2 and so on. But if you take n is odd, then your answer will be minus 1 over n, minus 1 over 3, minus 1 over 5, minus 1 and so on. Then what is the infimum? Infimum is my minus 1. So yes, third option is a correct. So once the infimum is my finite, so you can see the value of A is my minus 1 to infinity. So that means it is bounded below but not bounded above. Right answers are A and C are the correct answer. This is a simple one line answer you can provide it here. Also you can see any number which is less than of the 0 must be negative, and you can see the infimum is negative. I hope you can like and comment on this video as well. Let f be the functions which is defined as f of x is integration from 0 to infinity root of t divided by 1 plus t square. Then your target is to check about the uniform continuity, bounded derivatives and so on. Do you know any concept which is related to the uniform continuity, bounded, continuous and all that? All are related to the Lipschitz conditions. And what is the Lipschitz condition? If you prove that the derivative is my bounded, then the Lipschitz condition will be satisfied. So let's firstly start with their derivative. What is the derivative is? Root x divided by 1 plus x square. If you start with the modulus, it is modulus. Now because x is start from the 0 to infinity, so that is always a positive value, I can remove the modulus. Now you can see 1 plus x square is always 1 plus x square is always greater than of the x square. Whenever x lies between 0 to infinity, that means 1 over x square is greater than or greater than, it is always less than of, fine, that number will be 2, that is x 3 by 2. So whenever x goes to the infinity, this will goes to the 0. What does it mean? F dash is my finite. That means f satisfied Lipschitz condition. So what will happen if any function satisfies my Lipschitz condition? That means f is uniform continuous. F is uniform continuous. F is my bounded. F is uniform continuous. That means f is continuous as well. The first question, f is uniform continuous satisfied. F is bounded satisfied. Derivative of the f is continuous. Now we will see how you can check about that derivative is continuous. This is my derivative. Fine. Now whether it's a continuous or not, you can see 1 plus x square is continuous functions. Root of x square is my continuous function on the domain 0 to infinity. Therefore, f dash is also continuous. F dash is also continuous function. Now, look at that whether there exists for all x, whenever x is strictly greater than 0, f of x is my 0. What does it means? इसको आप कैसे देखते हो आप? That means your target is to find x such that x will be the root of the fx. Fine. Now whenever x is my greater than 0, root x is always greater than 0. 1 plus x square is always greater than 0. That means f of x is always greater than 0. Fine. Instead of the x, you can say as, yes, f of x is always greater than 0 because the limit is my, this portion is my positive. Fine. So that means f of x is always greater than 0, but he said is equal to 0. That means there is no root. Answer is A, B and D are the correct answers. Okay, look at this another one. Fnx is defined as n into 1 minus nx and 0 whenever x is greater than 1 by n and x lies between 1 by n. Then you check about the uniform bounded, does pointwise. Okay, so what is the pointwise meaning? You have to find the limit as n approaches infinity of fnx. What is my domain is 0 and 1. So we will consider two cases, when x is 0, when x is 1 and when x is lies between 0 and 1. What will happen if x is 0? X0 lies here. When x is 0, this expression becomes my n, and when you take as n approaches infinity, this is my infinity. When x is equal to 1, x is equal to 1 lies in this case, the function will be 0. Whenever x lies between 0 and 1, as n approaches infinity, whenever n approaches infinity, this value will be 0. So that means whenever n approach x greater than 0, that means fx will be 0. And clearly say this function is my not piecewise because the limit is not finite. So that function is not convergence to the piecewise. Fine. Once the function is not convergent to the piecewise, that means it is not converges uniformly. That means, but the second or third option say convergent uniformly. That option is cancel out. Fine. Also, you can see the function fx is my unbounded. Fine, because it's infinity, it's unbounded. That means the fnx is my not uniformly bounded. The first option is again cancelled. The set fnx is a compact. So once the function is not bounded, because fnx is not bounded, that means the function is not compact, because for the compact you need a closed and bounded. It's a closed but not bounded. So the right answer is only B is the correct answer. Now again you have to find the uniform convergent. Firstly we will find the limit fx. Fx means the limit as n approaches infinity. So once you have the two cases or more than two cases, whenever x lies between -1 to 0, we will see x is 0 and x lies between 0 to 1. Fine. What will happen if n approaches infinity? That number will be 0. The first limit will be -1 to x to 0 and the limit is my -1. Second limit will goes to the 0, x less than 0, and when you take as x n approaches infinity, nx becomes infinity. Sorry, whenever sorry because firstly you have to find the x is 0. When x is 0, nx becomes 0 and then you can take the limit n approaches infinity, this function is 0. Whenever n approaches infinity, this number is my 0, your limit is 0 to 1, and once you take n approaches infinity, answer is also 1. So therefore the function f is piecewise, fnx is piecewise, is a piecewise, but clearly say the function fx is discontinuous at x is equal to 0 because the left hand limits and the right hand limit does not exist. What does it mean? If the function is discontinuous, that means fn is not uniform convergent at x is equal to 0. Fine. Now अब आप देखिए यहाँ पे it's a closed interval at the point 0 function is not uniform convergent. Again in this case 0 belongs to this interval, it's a negative and it's a positive, the function is not uniform convergent. Fine. Now look at in this case 0 does not belong, in this case 0 does not belong. Now we will see at the point x is equal to 1. What is the value of the fx? Fx is my 1. What is the value of the fnx? Fnx is also 1. What does it means? Fn minus f will goes to the 0. That means at x is equal to 1, the function is uniform convergent. Fine. Now, what does it mean? The function is not convergent on the 0, but convergent on the 1. So that means this is the interval where the function is uniform convergent. On the other hand, and we all know if the function is uniform convergent on the closed interval a comma b, then it is also uniform convergent on the open interval a comma b. And you can see the third interval is the open interval of the 0 comma 1. So right answer is B and C are the correct answer of the problem. Okay, look at this next one. F is a monotonically increasing function. What is the meaning of the monotonically increasing functions? And they are talking about the limit. We all know every monotonic increasing functions has only jump discontinuities. Fine. They have only jump discontinuities, and whenever we have the jump discontinuity, the limits must be finite. There is a first kind. Every monotonically increasing has a jump discontinuity and the limits are always existence finite. That means this case and this, both the limits are finite. Fine. So on the interval 0 comma 1, if L positive L negative limits exist, that implies functions limit exist for all alpha which are lies between 0 and 1. The first option is correct option. Fine. Because finite है limits, जंप डिसकंटिन्यूटी हो सकती है, लिमिट यहाँ पे क्या कह रहा है, सिंपल लिमिट एग्जिस्ट होनी चाहिए वेदर द लिमिट आर सेम और नॉट, ये नहीं कह रहा है यहाँ पे. फाइन. और वो आपको जंप डिसकंटिन्यूटी दे ही रहा है कि लिमिट्स आर फाइनाइट, दिस आर फाइनाइट लिमिट्स. फाइन. लुक एट द सेकंड. f is my on to. अगर आपका फंक्शन ऑन टू है, व्हाट डज इट मीन्स? दैट मीन्स देयर इज नो जंप डिसकंटिन्यूटी. फाइन. तो दैट मीन्स जो भी आपका मोनोटोनिक फंक्शन है, ऐसा कौन सा फंक्शन होता है जो मोनोटोनिक भी हो और जिसके अंदर जंप डिसकंटिन्यूटी भी ना हो? दैट इंप्लाइज द फंक्शन इज कंटिन्यूस. फाइन. तो एफ इज सब्जेक्टिव, देन f is continuous, fine. बट अगर आपका f इज सब्जेक्टिव ना दिया होता तो क्या ये कंटिन्यूस होता? नो। ये एग्जांपल बन जाती ना आपसे, अभी बना लेते हैं, इसके बाद बना के दिखाता हूं आपको। फाइन। देन लुक एट द थर्ड ऑप्शन, f is a Riemann integrable. We all knows every monotonic function is Riemann integrable functions. Fine. Every monotonic functions with the finite jump discontinuity has a Riemann integrable. Does it a continuous? Not necessary. If you define the function is say 1 whenever x is greater than 1 and 0 whenever x is, okay, interval is my 0 comma 1, so you can choose any number, say 0.3 0.3। देखो ग्राफ क्या बनेगा, 0 और 3 के बीच में ये है, उसके बाद दिस वन। So clearly say this function is my increasing but it has discontinuous function. Fine. So that option is cancelled. और clearly say अगर ये आपका सब्जेक्टिव नहीं होता, that is on to नहीं होता, तो continuous भी नहीं होता। Now if left and right hand limits of the alpha and beta exist, that means, and alpha is my monotonic functions, alpha is not equal to beta, that means either alpha is less than beta or alpha is greater than beta. फाइन। इसके ऊपर आपकी दो लिमिट्स आएंगी, अल्फा नेगेटिव एंड अल्फा पॉजिटिव, एंड अल्फा नेगेटिव इज ऑलवेज लेस देन और इक्वल टू अल्फा पॉजिटिव डिपेंडिंग अपॉन दैट वेदर द फंक्शन इज कंटिन्यूअस और नॉट। सिमिलरली बीटा के ऊपर क्या आएगा, बीटा नेगेटिव इज ऑलवेज लेस देन ऑफ द बीटा पॉजिटिव। अब आपको क्या करना है, इसके बीच का एक रिलेशन डिफाइन करना है। Is it okay? How you can define? Now, since alpha is less than beta and the function is monotonically increasing, that means f of alpha must be less than of the f of beta. Fine. So that number will be fine. Now, these are my intervals. Fine. These are my intervals and the intervals are my open. So once they are open interval, this equality will also cancel out. Is it okay? Fine, because alpha and beta are my open interval. So what does it means? इसके बीच में आपको क्या मिलेगा, u of alpha as per the definition, यहाँ पे क्या मिलेगा आपको, u of beta। क्या दोनों के बीच में कोई कॉमन एलिमेंट है? बिल्कुल भी नहीं है, बिकॉज अगर आप रियल लाइन में बात करो, दिस इज माई अल्फा नेगेटिव, दिस इज माई अल्फा पॉजिटिव, दिस इज माई बीटा नेगेटिव एंड दिस नंबर इज माई बीटा पॉजिटिव। देयर इज नो कॉमन, so intersection must be phi. So yes, this option is also satisfied. A, B and D are the right answer of the problem. It's a very simple one line. If alpha is monotonically increasing, we can use the relation and clearly say they are strictly less than. There is no, because this is my open interval. This number is my u of alpha. This is my u of beta. So इसका intersection देख लो क्या आ रहा है, phi, यही आएगा ना। This interval is my u beta, this interval is my u alpha, so the intersection is my phi. उम्मीद करता हूं वीडियो को लाइक जरूर करेंगे। ओके, f is a continuously differentiable functions such that the gradient f00 is my -1. This is the gradient of the f with respect to x is my 2, gradient of the f with respect to y 0, gradient of the f with respect to z is my 3. Then for which of the following condition is my satisfied? So मैं इसको बड़ा कर दूं आपके लिए। फाइन। सो क्या कहना चाह रहा है ये आपके लिए, एक बार ध्यान से पढ़ लें स्टेटमेंट, मैं फर्स्ट टाइम देख रहा हूं। देयर एग्जिस्ट अ कंटिन्यूसली डिफरेंशिएबल फंक्शंस सच दैट f x comma y g of x comma y it must be equal to -1 and g of 0 comma 0। तो क्या ये ऐसा कोई g एग्जिस्ट करेगा? How you can relate? Okay, differentiable functions, okay, that means there exist क्या रहा ना, so that means you have to provide the existence theorem of the continuously differentiable functions। वो क्या होती है? implicit फंक्शन थ्योरम। वो क्या थी आपके पास? इम्प्लिसिट फंक्शन थ्योरम। आई होप एवरीबडी नोज दैट अगर आपके पास कोई फंक्शन है विच इज अ कंटिन्यूसली डिफरेंशिएबल function, if f is my continuously differentiable functions such that किसी भी एक पॉइंट पे लेट्स से u, v पे 0 है एंड जैकोबियन ऑफ द f विद रिस्पेक्ट टू कोई भी एक वेरिएबल ले लो u और v में से, लेट्स से v और u is not 0, then there exists a function v in the terms of small fx, small fu, u है ना आपके पास दूसरा। फाइन, अगर आपके पास जिस भी वेरिएबल का जैकोबियन 0, जैकोबियन मींस if the single variable, that means if the derivative is my non-zero or the gradient is my non-zero such that f of u comma v is 0, then there exists a function v such that function of u and f of u must be 0. That is my guarantee for the implicit function theorem. अब यहां पे भी यही करते हैं। अब इसमें देखो क्या कह रहा है आपको, गिवन में क्या था एक्स वाई जेड, यहां पे क्या कह रहा है आपको, कैन यू फाइंड द फंक्शन जेड इन द टर्म्स ऑफ एक्स वाई। ये कब कर सकते हैं? इफ आई फाउंड द जैकोबियन ऑफ द फंक्शन एफ विद रिस्पेक्ट टू जेड इज माई नॉन जीरो। तो यहाँ पे जैकोबियन क्या आपका ग्रेडियंट, ग्रेडियंट ऑफ द कैपिटल एफ विद रिस्पेक्ट टू जेड मस्ट बी नॉन जीरो, और वो ग्रेडियंट कितना दिया हुआ है आपको, इज 3। Gradient of the functions at the point with respect to z is my 3, which is my non-zero. Therefore, by the implicit theorem, there exists a function g such that g of 0 will be 0 because यहाँ पे 0 0 points है ना आपके, and function will be whatever the function value -1. So yes, the first condition is satisfied. Look at the second one. There exists a function h such that h of x, z, तो ये कहां पे लिखा हुआ है? y वाले में। तो क्या एक ऐसा फंक्शन बना सकते हो आप y? तभी बनाएंगे ना जब जब ग्रेडियंट ऑफ y, ग्रेडियंट ऑफ f विद रिस्पेक्ट टू y आपका नॉन जीरो हो, बट ग्रेडियंट ऑफ f विद रिस्पेक्ट टू y कितना है? 0 है। तो दैट मीन्स देयर मे एग्जिस्ट और मे नॉट बी, क्योंकि ये एग्जिस्टेंस की बात हो रही है, गारंटी की बात नहीं हो रही। तो मे और मे नॉट बी, बट ही सेड देयर एग्जिस्ट, it is not necessary true. Second option is cancel out. Look at the third option. Third option says this is the x, can you find a function y in terms of k1x, z is another function k2x such that there is a both are by 0. Okay, एक मैं फंक्शन डिफाइन कर लेता हूं g which is look like say y and z. Fine, I call as the x. Is it okay? Now, is it a true or not? If I choose k1 of x, because he said there exists, so any existence is fine. If I choose k1 is my 0, fine, and k2 of x is g of कोई भी एक फंक्शन ले लेते हैं x, 0, फाइन, क्लियर। तो आप देखो क्या ये कंडीशन सेटिस्फाइड हुई? k of 1 0 is a 0, satisfied. k of 2 is a g of 0 0, and g of 0 0 must be satisfied. So therefore there exists a function such that by the again implicit function theorem their existence. Similarly for this case, fine, if I choose j1 of z is my 0, j2 of z is my g of z comma 0, then definitely this at the point 0 comma 0 satisfied, which is satisfied. So the right answers are A, C and D are my right answer of the problem. Look at the next one. Now this is the decimal representation of the problem. Read the statement carefully. Alpha, which is some finite series AL divided by 10 raised to power L such that A of 2025 is my non-zero. फाइन, तो मैं आसान कर लेता हूं, 2025 को मैं 1 ले लेता हूं. फाइन, और बाकी सबको 0 ले लेता हूं. A of L is my 0 whenever L is 2025. तो आपका अल्फा क्या बन गया? 1/10 raised to power 2025. Beta is my strictly increasing sequence and it convergence to the alpha. That means बीटा एन क्या होगा आपका? अल्फा माइनस समथिंग होगा, और ऐसा होगा कि वेन एवर यू टेक एन अप्रोचेस इन्फिनिटी दैट विल गोज टू द जीरो. आई कैन टेक 225 प्लस एन बिकॉज यू कैन सी बीटा इज अ एन टर्म्स आर क्लियर. नाउ क्लियरली से बीटा एन में इंक्रीजिंग, फाइन, बिकॉज ये नेगेटिव है ना आपके पास, इसे इंक्रीजिंग. ऑल्सो बीटा एन कन्वर्जेस टू द अल्फा एज एन अप्रोचेस इंफिनिटी. क्लियर. अब आप देखिए, जब आप मैं यहां पे अल्फा, सो दैट मीन्स ये क्या आएगा 0. पहले अल्फा देख लेते हैं. चलिए, व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ द अल्फा इज 0.00001. यही होगा. ये हाउ मेनी टाइम्स आर जीरोस? इट्स 2024 टाइम्स. फाइन. नाउ वंस यू सब्ट्रैक्ट अल्फा माइनस ये क्या आएगा आपके पास, दिस क्वांटिटी फॉर द वेरियस वैल्यूज ऑफ द एन. तो ये 0.2024 टाइम्स तो आएगा ही आएगा. फाइन, फाइन. एंड देन 0 बिकॉज 2025 प्लस एंड एन इज माई इंटीजर, दैट विल बी समथिंग लाइक हियर. जब आप इसमें से इस दोनों को माइनस करोगे, दिस माइनस दिस, तो दैट नंबर 1, तो ये माइनस करके क्या बन जाएगा आपका? इसको मैं 2 डेसिमल से भी समझाता हूं आपको, जस्ट वेट. फाइन. सो दैट विल बी 0.00, दिस इज अप टू 2024 टाइम्स. ये 1 में से माइनस करोगे तो दैट विल बी 0 एंड देन 999 एंड सो ऑन. फाइन. दिस इज माई 2025 digit and this is the remaining one. Clear. Now you can see this is my alpha, this is my beta. Look at the last one. What is the B of 2024? 0. What is the A of 2024? 0. But he said they are less than 1. That is cancelled. 2025, that is my 0. 20251 minus 1, that is satisfied. Fine. ऐसा नहीं कि एक वन पर्टिकुलर एग्जांपल से सेटिस्फाइड हुआ है, इन जनरल भी मैं दिखा रहा हूं. एंड फॉर ऑल दोस वैल्यूज व्हिच आर 2023, ऑल द वैल्यूज 2023 आर माय जीरोस, दे आर ऑलवेज सेम. अब इन जनरल कैसे देखते हैं इसे भी, पहले इसको इस तरह से समझिए. मान लो यहाँ 2025 की जगह पे सिंपल 2 होता. फाइन. तो एक नंबर ले लेते हैं, मान लीजिए 0.123. जरूरी नहीं है कि 1 लेना है, एनी नंबर बिटवीन देम. दिस इज माई अल्फा. नाउ बीटा एन क्या होगा? माइनस 1 बाय समथिंग करोगे ना, सो लेट्स से इट्स 100 और 1000 और 10,000. तो अगर मैं 10,000 ले रहा हूं बिकॉज इट्स गोस टू द इंफिनिटी, सो व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दैट? 0.123 माइनस 123434. फाइन. तो इफ यू सब्ट्रैक्ट द नंबर 0001, so देखिए that number will be 9. whatever the number here that will comes to be, अगर ये nth digit है that will be nth minus 1, उसकी प्लेस माइनस हो जाएगी ना. और ये बाकी जो नंबर है that will always the same because A of 2025 is my non-zero. that will be either the last digit is my 3, either 1, 2 and 3 up to the 9, and when you take carry over, this number must be 1 minus. Fine. And the first 2023 numbers are always same. Clear. Now in other words, what is the meaning of alpha n converges to the alpha? That means the difference must be less than of epsilon. Fine. But you can see alpha is my 0 point something series, beta is also my 0 point something series, and by using the numerical analysis, what can you say? They are my digits. Fine. So if I say the two digits x and y, they are same up. If you subtract the two digits, then it must be of 10 raised to power minus k, where k is my decimal digits. Fine. यही तो होता है न्यूमेरिकल एनालिसिस में, दैट इज एरर एनालिसिस. नाउ इफ यू टेक k इज माई 2023, तो क्या हो गया ये आपका भी बीटा n माइनस एल्फा इज लेस देन ऑफ 10 0. Fine. So that means there existence the number. Fine. And जो भी नंबर आपके पास होगा, because 2025, what is the 2025 number? A of 2025, that will be either 1 2 3 up to 9, and once you have taken any number 1 2 3 up to 9 minus 1 over 10 raised to power something, that number will always be 1 minus. So B of 2025 will always 2025 minus 1. So the second option is the correct option. On the other hand, अभी मैंने क्या लिया था, बीटा n will be alpha minus 1 over 10 raised to power 2025 plus n. If I choose beta n is alpha minus root 3 over 10 raised to power 2025 plus n, because इसके अंदर देखो डेसिमल बहुत ज्यादा हो गया ना, that is 1.732 or 10 raised to power 2025 plus n, that will again 0.000173. Fine. तो इसका मतलब क्या हो गया, is the beta n is a rational number? No, beta may be the irrational. Fine. So the third option is the wrong option. Fine. So the correct option of these problems are my A and B are the right answer of the problem. अगर यहाँ पे A of 2025 0 नहीं लिखा होता, फाइन, इट मे बी 0, तो आपका ये ऑप्शन गलत हो जाता. क्यों गलत हो जाता? अब सीधी सी बात है, अगर मैंने लास्ट डिजिट 0 ले लिया, फाइन, लेट्स से 1 2 3 0, और अगर मैं इसमें से एक नंबर 1 2 3 0 माइनस 1 ओवर कुछ भी माइनस करता हूं, लेट्स से 2027, फाइन, तो ये नंबर कहाँ हो जाएगा आपका, देखिए 1 2 3 0, इसमें से 0 0 0 करके कुछ माइनस करेंगे, फाइन, तो यहाँ भी 0 0 0 आएगा. इफ यू कैरी ओवर देम, इट इज माई 9, दिस इज 9, फाइन, ये कैरी ओवर होता रहेगा, तो दैट नंबर विल बी माई 9. तो प्रीवियस डिजिट भी आपका चेंज हो जाएगा. उस केस में आपका दैट रिजल्ट इज ऑल्सो नॉट ट्रू, अगर आपका ये लास्ट डिजिट आपका नॉन जीरो नहीं होता. फाइन. तो इस नॉन जीरो के ऊपर जो है वो पूरी स्टोरी थी. क्लियर? So that's why I'm taking a very simple example. A of 2025 is 1, rest all are my zeros. मैं आपको एक क्विकली से करके दिखा देता हूं दोबारा से. अल्फा मैंने क्या लिया, बाकी सारे नंबर 0 ले लिए, फाइन, और लास्ट में नंबर कुछ भी ले लो आप. ओके, चलिए मैं 1 भी नहीं ले रहा आपके लिए, मैं यहाँ पे कुछ भी एक नंबर ले रहा हूं, लेट्स से कैपिटल A. फाइन. तो बीटा आपका क्या होगा, अल्फा माइनस 1 over, or instead of the 1 it can be any number, say gamma divided by 10, because 2025 तक हो गया, that it will be 2025 plus n, यही आएगा ना. now gamma it can be anything, a can be any number from 1 to 9. now if you subtract them, what is my a क्या हो जाएगा आपका, a से जस्ट प्रीवियस नंबर हो जाएगा. फाइन. सो दैट विल बी a माइनस 1 आ जाएगा यहाँ पे बीटा में 0 0 0. फाइन. और इस a की जगह पे आ जाएगा आपका a माइनस 1. क्लियर? इस अल्फा को चेंज होके, सो दैट मीन्स दैट नंबर विल बी a आपका क्या है, a of 2025 number minus 1, that is the answer of the B of 2025. But 2024 and 2024, B and both are same, but he said 0. So the right answer is A and B are the correct answer. तो उम्मीद करता हूं आपको सारे solutions पसंद आए होंगे. I hope you can like this video and you can scan and join my WhatsApp group. I will upload the next video very soon. Till then you can share this video with your friends. Happy learning always. Thanks for the watch.